Hi, we are here with Al Coronel from 68 Whiskey.
How you doing? Good
Doing
evening.
well. So tell us a little bit about your character on the show.
I play Detective Mike Lopez, so you see me throughout a series of flashbacks with respect to Roback's history. So a little bit of his background, is he hiding any secrets? What deep, dark, stories actually led him to join the military? So, it's going to be good.
It's an interesting perspective for you too, because you're on a military show, but not necessarily in the military scene. So what was that like for you preparing for this role?
Right. When I got to set, I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps, and so I served overseas during Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Desert Stable. So going there, it was my honor, believe me. So getting there and seeing all these gigantic sets that they had built and walking into it and just getting those flashback moments of being back in the Middle East was just so surreal. But also just seeing the amount of attention to detail that they put into everything to making sure that they represented the military as accurately as possible, given the circumstances.
This show also is kind of unique because it is somewhat heavy material, but it's a dark comedy. It's able to bring a little bit of levity to it. Why do you feel that it's important to have this subject matter that is so topical, but have it in a kind of more digestible format, with it being kind of a dramatic comedy?
Well, I think based on my own personal experience, we always did whatever we could to keep our mind off of the negative circumstances behind us being deployed, but we always tried to do whatever we could to bring levity to the situation that we found ourselves in. So I think it's very much, it does connect with the reality, especially for anybody who's currently in the military serving overseas. They're going to probably see some similarities to some of the rambunctious behavior that goes on that you won't ever see on the news. It does happen.
So what do you hope that people take from this series, either those who are or have served in the military and those back home civilians?
Just to know that, it's a camaraderie, knowing that you have each other's back, that there are those out there, like these medics in combat that are there on the front line, not necessarily as combatants themselves, but helping those brothers and sisters in arms. And I think it's important to understand that's what it is. And a lot of the military is about, having your brothers and sisters in arms backs.
And since you were actually deployed and had that real experience, did any of your cast members kind of come up, ask you any questions, or try to get any of your feedback?
I kept it on the down low somewhat because, again, when I was in, it was back in, the 90s when I was deployed, and the technology and everything that's happened and the circumstances have changed slightly, so it almost feels like a different era of war that they're currently in. So, there were some people on the crew and on the cast that served in the current war. Some of them were interpreters in Afghanistan, so a lot of their experiences were more up to date, I would say, compared to mine.
It's still such an amazing experience for you to be an actual hero to America, and then playing on this show now that is bringing these service people to light.
Right. And to be a part of something, with Brian Grazer and Ron Howard backing it, and Roberto Benavides, it was like a bucket list that I got to check off.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us. We're so excited to see this show.
Thank you. Yeah, excited for everybody to see it.